She struggled with money. Then her voice shocked the judges. Maria Santos never planned to be on a stage, especially not this stage. She stood backstage, clutching the frayed strap of her thrift store purse, her fingers trembling as the echoing roars of the crowd thundered through the walls. She kept telling herself she didn't belong here. People like her didn't get chances like this, but people like her also didn't have many choices left. For months, Maria had been fighting a quiet war against her own life. Bills piled up on a chipped wooden table in her tiny apartment. Her mother needed medicine. Her younger sister needed school supplies. Maria worked double shifts at a diner, sometimes surviving on 2 hours of sleep and a cup of cheap coffee. Yet somehow, every week she still came up short. She hid her struggles behind tired smiles, always giving more than she had, always believing things would get better, eventually. The turning point came on a freezing night in December. Her manager cut her hours, and when Maria got home, the electricity had been shut off. Her sister, wrapped in a blanket, tried to pretend she wasn't cold. Her mother whispered apologies she didn't know, and in that dark, hopeless silence, Maria pulled out her old, weather-worn guitar, a relic from her father, who passed away when she was a child. She sang softly, almost to herself. Her voice, warm and trembling and filled with years of pain, floated through the apartment like a fragile prayer. Her sister stared at her, eyes wide, and said the words that changed everything.
8? You should audition for that talent show. People need to hear you.
Maria laughed. It felt impossible. She had no money, no fancy clothes, and no confidence left. But her sister didn't let it go. She secretly recorded Maria singing and uploaded it online. The video spread quietly but steadily, shared by strangers who saw something raw, something real, something human. Weeks later, Maria received an email inviting her to audition. So now she stood here, knees weak, heart fighting its way out of her chest. The stage manager called her name. She stepped forward, the lights blazing like a sunrise she wasn't ready for. As she walked onto the stage, the judges looked at her with a mixture of curiosity and calculation. She recognized one of them from TV, the one known for being brutally honest. Maria swallowed hard. When they asked about her story, she hesitated. She didn't want pity. She didn't want a sob story advantage. She just wanted a chance. So she simply said, "My name is Maria Santos. I'm here because I believe music can heal things life breaks." A few people in the audience leaned in. The music began, soft, simple, a single acoustic track. Maria closed her eyes, took a shaky breath, and sang. From the very first note, the room shifted. Her voice was both wounded and powerful, delicate yet unbreakable. Every lyric carried the weight of nights she cried quietly so her family wouldn't hear. Every note carried the love she had for them, the sacrifices she made, the hope she refused to abandon. Halfway through the song, something happened that Maria didn't expect. The judge, known for his sharp tongue, blinked rapidly, his expression softening. Another judge covered her mouth, eyes shining. The audience, thousands of strangers, fell silent in a way that felt sacred. It was as if Maria wasn't just singing. She was handing the world her heart and trusting it not to drop it. As the final note trembled into the air, Maria opened her eyes. For a moment, there was nothing but silence, a long, stunned, breath-held silence. Then the room erupted. People rose to their feet. The applause thundered like a wave crashing onto shore. The judges stood, all four of them, clapping, cheering, smiling with something like disbelief. But the most unexpected moment came next. The gruff judge leaned into his microphone and said, voice thick with emotion, "Maria, I don't know your full story, but I felt every word. You sang. And sometimes the world needs to be reminded of what true strength sounds like." Then he pressed the golden buzzer. Confetti exploded from the ceiling, showering her in gold. Maria gasped, hands flying to her face. She looked out at the sea of cheering strangers and, for the first time in years, felt something she had forgotten. Hope. Real, overwhelming, breathtaking hope. But the real miracle didn't happen on stage. After the show, a producer approached her. "Maria," he said gently, "someone wants to help." He handed her an envelope. Inside was a check, Not for fame, not for publicity, but for compassion. Enough to cover her mother's treatments, enough to keep her sister in school, enough to give her family a chance to breathe. Maria burst into tears, not because of the money, not because of the golden buzzer, but because strangers, people who owed her nothing, chose kindness. And that kindness changed everything. As she walked out of the studio that night, Maria realized something profound. Sometimes life breaks us so we can discover the strength we didn't know we had. Sometimes the world feels cold until one moment of compassion warms everything. And sometimes, all it takes is one voice to remind us we're never truly alone. Maria stepped into the night air, still struggling, still imperfect, but no longer defeated. She came with nothing. She left with hope. And her voice, it didn't just shock the judges, it healed her.